Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back
Oh.
to Kate and Court's Cozy Corner. We are so excited today because we are doing the second half of our read along for Mate, which means
Mhm.
both of us have now finished the book. And
Yay!
if you're listening with us, you have finished the book as well. And we can really dig into this
Or
puppy.
you just like hearing about books, which is fine. If you're don't worry, but you want to hear what happens and get yourself into it, also totally fine.
Yeah, also totally cool, but this will be
But you should
rife
read
with
it.
spoilers.
Yeah. You
Rife with
should.
spoilers. We're just
Yes. We are diving in deep to the second half of Mate.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and before we dive in deep, I want to give Court the chance while she shows you the cover
Oh.
to also show you that she styled her
Oh
hair
yes.
today.
Well, my whole
Turn all the way and look back at your bookshelf. There you go.
I fully went full cover. I had to, it's a cozy fall day outside. It's a perfect husband's flannel, literally husband's flannel, cozy up.
Right?
And then it was just sitting there. So, got to use
It's
the
the
side bang for
best.
something. It apparently
So
for
Court,
copying. Right?
okay, I have a question for you on the husband's flannel front.
Yes.
So Brad, my husband is from Seattle. So the amount of flannels he owns is kind of absurd.
Yes.
And like any, proper Pacific Northwester, I also love flannels, but I actually had to stop buying them because I would realize we'd be heading out the door and we'd both be in a flannel, maybe even the same color scheme. And I was like, this is just not okay. Does that happen with you and Jake or
Not with flannel, but we have like accidentally dressed the same. A couple where we're like, what? This is a problem. Like we are literally
it's
dressed the exact
mildly
same.
terrifying.
It's terrifying. The good thing with flannel for me, I have a couple because flannel lasts so long. So I have
Yeah.
a lot from my early mom days because I just loved, tights and a flannel. That's all you need to
Mhm.
throw on and you're good to go. And then now Jake, like he has a couple of these really nice flannels, but unfortunately for him, fortunately for me, his chest keeps getting broader as he's getting bulkier. And so they don't quite button up anymore. And every time I'm like, yeah, I think that's too tight, babe. I think you gotta move on. And then they become
Oh my
mine.
gosh.
So
Yes.
he no longer wears his
Right?
flannel. Mostly I do because he's
Yeah.
his chest doesn't button up well. He needs pullovers. That's become.
That is so funny. Well, oh, and then speaking of like their clothes becoming yours, Brad looked at me this morning and he was like, it's really interesting. I think because like he found like a pair of his jeans on my side of the closet, and he was like, "It's so interesting how you're wearing so many of my clothes now." And I was like, "It's kind of the style, like, and
It's that.
your jeans fit me."
Yeah.
And so yeah,
It's
baggy
that.
jeans are back.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah. I'm here for it. It's lovely. You literally
it
can
really
just
is.
throw on anything huge, be cozy, and you're good to go. And you're still in
You're
fashion.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here for it. And then, well, and I thought it was interesting. In the book, Serena kept being like, "Oh, I just keep taking his clothes," and I'm like, I don't think you have to be in heat to like take his clothes.
Definitely
I've
not.
been taking Brad's clothes from jump. Like,
It's like number one girlfriend perk, even best friend.
yeah,
Like you're set up meet cute
yeah,
with your best guy friend and you steal their sweaters or clothes. There's nothing, as long as the guy smells good, better than like the
yeah.
baggy, soft, like cologne smelling sweater. It just engulfs you.
Mm,
And then
right?
when it's your partner, it's even better because you just get to smell it and remember them. And I
Yeah.
very early on would take one of Jake's t-shirts when we first started going to the gym together when we were first dating because he was teaching spinning and I would go to his spin classes.
Yeah.
And I always wore his shirt. And it's for like the first year, probably. I only wore his
Oh my
t-shirt
gosh.
when I would go
Oh
and
my
do it. And I
gosh.
loved it so much. Yeah.
I love that. I always sleep in Brad's shirts when he's away filming. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
like my pajamas become his t-shirts.
And my kids
Um,
now, they also steal his t-shirts. They love it. Yeah.
Sorry, man, you're not safe. Your
Yeah.
wardrobe is not safe from us. Okay. So we talked up until about chapter 23, and then I went back to read. Literally, we got off from recording and I was like, okay, I got to go and finish this book. And I hopped back in. I was like, oh, I only made it halfway through chapter 23. And then I started reading and I was like, oh, well, Court knew I had only made it halfway through chapter 23 because I didn't bring this up. I mean, whoa. At the 50%
You were at the
mark.
like diving board. I'm like, we just need to like dive in. I was waiting, like bated breath, waiting for you to get to this next part. Okay, chapter 20, chapter 34. I had to get some air.
I know.
I was not the same after chapter 34.
No.
That I will say is close to a sexy 5 spice pumpkin as we have gotten in a book.
It's a 5. Yeah.
Specifically chapter 34. It is.
I mean, yeah.
It is full on. She is in heat. And when you're in heat as a werewolf, you just want sex all the time. And it has to be penetration.
Yeah.
It has to be his cock. It's the only way she can come. And it's knotted and it's there. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's somehow done in such a brown, passionate way that you're into it. Like,
True. This slow build to it,
Yes.
and then the way that she handles it, I'm like, oh, I kept being like, this is a 5. Oh, and then I was like, no, it's like a 4.5. But how is it not? But it is a 5. But like,
but not.
And-
Exactly. I agree. Nothing really gets to the 5. There's other books, but like,
yeah,
it's a hard chapter to read on the bus. Let's say that. And you don't want to be sitting there on the bus reading this chapter.
you don't want to be on the bus or like in the grocery store line or like I'm a book in my purse kind of gal, so if I get somewhere early, then I'm like, great, I'll just sit here and read. And chapter 34 is a chapter for at home.
It's private. It's a private chapter. It's
a private chapter.
It's what you never want alone in your head. Yes, you need privacy there to read that chapter and to enjoy.
Yeah. I'm so glad to hear that you had to come up for air as well.
Oh my
Because I was like,
well, okay. So this chapter brings me to a point that I want to say, because I have some friends that love romance and they're
Yes.
not into romantasy yet. I will say yet, because I'm
Right.
trying to convert everyone. And this is
Yeah.
my point. So when you're reading a romance and they have the hot, sexy scenes in it, there's always some part in the back of my brain, I'm sorry, that
Mhm.
thinks about, well, they didn't go pee, so they're going to get an UTI or a yeast
Yes.
infection. Like, this sex is
Right.
resulting in a yeast infection or a UTI. Okay.
It's-
Again, especially like, oh, and then we fell asleep
Right.
with his dick still inside me. I'm like, and you woke up with a UTI.
Ooh.
Sucks to be you. I love an author that will include. And then I went to the washroom because, like, girls,
Yes.
if you don't know this already, here I'm telling you, go pee after sex. That is very
It's true
important.
for men and women, by
Go
the
pee.
way. You got to clear the pipes, as Brad says. Go
Yeah,
clear
you
the
gotta,
pipes.
it's less of a concern for them for UTI, but it's
True.
still, it's a very important part of
just-
sex. However,
Yeah.
when I'm reading romantasies, when I'm reading
Mhm.
something on the line, like, man, I don't have to worry about that. Like, that is the best part of, like, fae sex scenes or these mate ones. They can just go. And it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're like, that would be really sore for 2 weeks, because they can heal their bodies. Or it's
Yeah.
designed and has extra wetness to take the knot and everything happening. So you can
Yes.
stay in that fantasy of like, oh, this could happen without the real world coming in.
Absolutely.
And I love
Yeah.
that. I love
Yeah.
it so much. It's
Yeah.
Kate, you may have thought of this too. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and we were talking about how, like, in college, like, we used to get UTIs all the time. He's
Mm.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I wonder why. Like, why did that stop? But then I had a moment, I'm like, oh, wait. At first I thought we just don't have as intense sex anymore as we did in college.
That's not true.
And then I was like, no, I just make sure I go pee. It's
yeah.
like, I don't have time anymore. When you're in college, you can wear pajamas to school. You can be uncomfortable, no, like, now we have real lives. Can't show up to
Yeah.
set for the UTIs. You have to wear the
No.
clothes, walk the walk. You can't be bothering with other things. It's high level. But when you're young,
Yeah.
it's not as important.
And you don't necessarily know either.
No, you don't
And you're
realize
kind
the
of like-
correlation.
You're kind of more caught up in so many other things that, like, basic life functioning that is now, like, there's systems that we have basically set, I mean, we're worried about, like, getting an entire family out the door and off to school and work in the morning,
Yeah.
or like to airports and all this stuff. and lunch is made. It's like a little, there's like a routine with
Yeah.
that has it all built in. And, like shit's constantly going wrong. And, we're both like in our 40s now. And you're like, yeah, everything's always falling apart. That's normal.
Yes.
Versus when you're in your 20s and you're like, I'll be an adult someday and things will just work smoothly. When like the rack in your closet falls down, it's the end of the fucking world because you can't believe such a thing would happen to you.
Yes.
Now the rack in the closet falls down as you're like running because you're late for school and work. And you're like, standard procedure. We'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. And so you're like, in college, you're having all this hot sex and you're like, oh, if I get up to go pee, he'll think I'm gross or like, something or
Or you want
I'm
to
not into him
snuggle, or you just,
I
yeah.
want to snuggle longer versus now where, it's like, okay. And the next step, everybody up, everybody back into bed. Now we can have a little snuggle. Okay. Good night. And even if you're like home from a date night and you're hammered or all the things, you're still gonna go through the machinations of like taking care of yourself.
Yes, because you've experienced it.
Yeah, multiple times. Like you've learned the hard way more than once. Because it takes more than once. Because the first time you're like, this is an anomaly. The second time you're like, something might be going on. The third time you're like, oh, this is why.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You put it together. But I'm happy to say we don't have to think about that for Serena.
We don't.
But
Although
otherwise
she
you would.
also But this is what is also great about Ali Hazelwood, because she's a STEM author. She
Yes.
still gives you all the details as to why you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. I love it. You can just...
like all this slick and and all this stuff and the wetness and because Serena is half were and half human, she has all those human. It's nice too reading it, because she's having all those kinds of like insecurities that we have because we're not just animal brain. We have this other part to ourselves and in our society and all of the shame around sex and all of that stuff and our bodies and it's really cool how Cohen is like, dude, you're in heat this is an animal thing that is happening to you right now. I'm going to help you get through it. Don't be embarrassed. Everybody knows this is normal for us, even though it feels embarrassing for you. Although I would flip side say, technically, no, we do not go into like full on, heat, like the way that a dog does.
But we have a version.
Yeah.
There's 2 weeks on a good month that you're like, oh, things are really
let's go, baby.
Rolling. Yes.
And
your
then
body's like, there's a week where you're like, get the fuck away from me.
No.
Don't touch me.
And that always seems to be when they're like, honey. And you're like, God, no, you missed the window.
Yeah. It's done. It's done. It has passed. Touch me in a week. It will come back to us.
It will come back. I will be waking you up in the middle of the night again, but not right now.
Not right now. No. It's crazy. It definitely happens. It definitely, there's something biological that does kickstart and goes for women. And then
that's
especially when you're trying to get pregnant, or if you are, like your body's natural. Like the very first time I got pregnant was an accident. Sounds weird. But the first
I think
time
a lot
it was
of people.
Surprise. And
I think that's true for a lot of.
Yes. And I had
like,
I had an early miscarriage, which obviously was awful. It's like, but what the other part that happened aside from that awful loss was my biological clock kicked in that I hadn't experienced before. And all of a sudden my body was like, I want to be pregnant again. Like my body and brain were like fighting each other because I didn't feel ready, but my body wanted it. And it turned everything up, like literally craving in a way that I hadn't experienced before. And I thought of that when I was reading about her being in heat, because it changed. Like I was already, I mean, I'm a Scorpio. I was already wanting, but like when my body decided it wanted a baby in it, it completely changed.
It's a different story.
Yeah.
It is a different story. And that's where I was like, reading it and I was like, oh, we have our version of this.
Yeah. Definitely.
And especially then when, like once you've had a kid or once you know what that is. And I love how you said that that body brain battle
Yeah.
where your body's like, I just want to be pregnant. And your brain is like, we are not having another
Yes.
baby.
Well, that's part of what Kate and I bonded about so much was like we had one kid and we're like, I wish I just knew. Like, I wish I was a
Yeah.
woman that was like, I want 2 kids, 3 kids, I want kids, or I don't want kids. And we
Yeah.
never felt that either direction. It just like
No.
happened and then we're in it. We're like, are we having a second? Are we not? Are we like, and it never felt, again, the second, I clearly have issues, but the second was a surprise. My son.
I'll never forget that moment, that text. That was amazing. I'll
Okay.
let you tell it though.
Look, the pull-out method does not work. Just to be
They've been
clear.
saying it. They've been saying it for years, Court. I don't know how you missed that in the subtext of sex ed class, but
listen,
they
I
made
was
that pretty clear.
clearly my body wanted it. It was very
Yep.
late in my luteal phase, like day 23 of 25 or something, or 22. Like I should not have in my head been able to get pregnant
That's how they
at
get you.
all. And we had company over. So I was trying to be clean. And so I told my husband, don't worry, just come inside me. It's fine. I'm getting my period in a week. We're good. And I didn't want to make a mess and run to the bathroom and all that stuff because people were sleeping in the other room. It might have even been you guys. I can't remember. Anyways, and it wasn't. And I got pregnant. And that's how I got my beautiful son that I'm very happy that I have.
I know, he's amazing.
He was a one-shot wonder, a miracle worker. That guy. That kid was meant to be here. But that was my body.
Honestly.
Clearly, my body was in its own version of heat. I was like, no, it's
Yeah.
fine. Just like needed it so badly that I couldn't
Yeah.
wait and had to.
We've all been there. Well, not all of us, but enough of us. Yeah. Or you have that moment and you're like, it's fine. Go for it.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, you're like, Jesus fuck. And then you're sitting there like a fucking 15-year-old just praying for your period.
Yes, exactly. Like, oh no. What?
I didn't mean it.
Yeah, it's fine. And my body tricked me. It tricked me again. It made me think I wanted this.
Which is happening in the book the whole time. Okay, but back to that
Yes,
story. So then Court did text me. You did text me. I remember because we had been talking at that point. We were very much talking about like having another kid or not. Both of us.
Yes.
We were on the fence. And you texted me and you were just, the text was just, fuck. And I was like, oh, the universe decided for you. And it really was the best decision. Rolly actually is amazing. He's so awesome.
Oh my gosh.
And, you
yes.
know, and the timing was great.
Yes.
It was actually
and it's
amazing.
not, but look, I know a lot of people work very hard to get pregnant. I know a lot of women try and can't, and I'm not putting on any of this. Everyone has their journey, and I appreciate all sides of it.
Yeah.
I just, in that point in my life, was not expecting it, and I'm very thankful for it. But it was a shock to my system, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
because there's two
Listen,
sides to that for
not
women. It's
Mm-hmm.
when it's something you're not looking for or wanting at the time either, it's really hard. Like, again, there's
Mhm.
no easy way. There's no, the pregnancy is one part of it, and then it's the rest of your
Yeah.
life. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
It's-
it worked out. We're good.
It's a thing, you know? It worked out, you're good, which is so awesome. And then flip side, so she talks about this too in the science of it, because, you know, they're in heat. Like, they're having sex
Yes.
straight for 3 days straight, just
3
like
days.
nonstop.
Yes.
And it is incredible.
Yes.
And they beforehand, though, I think it's interesting that the doctor says to her, you know, here, you can take these so that afterwards, like basically like a morning after pill,
Yeah.
you know, as a pregnancy thing if you don't want it. And also there's a whole discussion about how it's really hard for wearers to get pregnant at all. And the reason I bring this up is because the amount of sex that they are having and the knot, which keeps him inside of her, like after he comes and everything. And like, if you tried to have a baby or had, you know, that's kind of like part of it is, you know, if you
Keeping
want to
it in
get
there.
pregnant, like, yeah, don't get up and go pee right away. You know,
When you want to
stories
get
of
pregnant, risk the UTI. That's the only
risk the
time.
UTI. Exactly. And I'm like, I'm thinking this book is ending with like, surprise, she's pregnant. And then it doesn't. And I'm like, how after that much sex is
Oh
she
my gosh.
not?
Yeah. I mean, she
And she's in
clearly
her
took the pills.
20s,
Yeah, she
you
clearly
know?
took the medication because there's no way. And I will
Yeah.
say that was my only cringe, like slight cringe. I was in it. I loved it all. There's the line that he says when he's like, "Yes, that's where my cum goes." That was the only one.
Yeah.
I was like,
And yet,
yeah,
I
still
know.
worked. Still works.
I was like, as the reader on the outside, I was like cringe, but then I like put myself in the experience and I was like, I
Exactly.
would like that line. I would like that line in
In
that
her
moment if I was
position,
there.
yes, yes. Especially with a knot and her first experience of it, which I get. She didn't know about the knot beforehand. Misery didn't have a chance to tell her, and
Yeah.
that's quite the surprise. Quite, quite
Just
the shock
just as
surprise.
surprising the second time, just as surprising in the sequel as it was in the original.
Yes, Ali Hazelwood managed to do that. She managed to write it in a believable way that they both got surprised by it,
Yeah.
despite
And
everything happening.
she managed to up the ante
Yes.
somehow, like on the sex in this one. And I was
Well,
and it sounds like Keon is really big.
listen, the fact that this came out almost the same week as this Life of a Showgirl with Wood, it goes together well. They
Ah!
they can promote each other, Wood and Mate. It's
Yes.
a union meant to be.
It's a
in her name, Ali Hazelwood.
it was a
Keon is
big dick week.
definitely a friend for Wood. He is one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yes. He
Yeah.
definitely.
He was like, you're going to need all this slickness and we'll work it in and we'll get there. I was like, oh, wow.
And in a really considerate way, because he's like, look, in a couple hours, you're just going to want me to fuck you no matter how sore you are. And look, we've also all been there. That happens.
That's true too.
But
that does happen.
That's not to the extent of heat. There's like a hot way of that where you're like, oh, this is going to suck for the next 2 days, but like worth it. And then there's like the tearing of a knot, which maybe his approach of just slowly working it in the first time, it was correct.
Definitely key. Definitely key. I then even also had the thought of it, like, I mean, this is great while she's in heat, but they're going to have to figure some stuff out on the flip side. It sounds like it's a baseball bat.
Yeah. I mean, she'll adjust. She'll adjust.
You know.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as too big for some of us.
Oh, God, yeah. Of course. There's like great, and then there's the world. I mean, I haven't met one, but I'm sure.
Incredible. You guys, the second half of Made is no joke. It just, as you can tell by the tenor of our conversation today, and you read it at this point, it is a sexathon. It is werewolves in heat who are both mated. I knew it.
Yes, I know. When you were saying that, I'm like, yes, they're mated. It was so obvious. I mean, she literally went in heat after meeting him. So
just after meeting him, I'm like, that means that you're his mate too. It has to. This has to be connected.
Oh
and I was also right. She just needed to get fucked.
She did. That was the solution. She just needed to get fucked. And you know, that happens. Sometimes that's all
it does
we
happen.
need to get it. The aggression, whether by yourself or with a partner. So you need it. I mean, I always said with men, I have the rule of 3 with men. They're very easy to deal with. They're either hungry, horny, or have to pee. 3 H's.
That's true.
If you deal with those 3, life's good. It's fine. And women, we're not as basic as just the hungry, horny, have to pee.
No, we're not.
But they do come up.
They do come up. And they can be the most aggravating. Yeah. When you're like, okay, nothing is actually wrong. What is happening?
Yeah.
You know, we just have a few other more detailed layers with our hormones.
Which
that are very
I have
real
to
as
say, aside from the sex in this part, like I do love the honesty of like it took the female doctor to recognize what was happening with her. Because of course her symptoms were brushed aside by the 3 male experts that were looking at her. It's like they must be this thing. And it took the woman to look at it and be like, no, she's in heat and this is the symptoms. This is what happens. Like it's honest in a way that I super appreciate and I wish wasn't,
Yeah.
but that is the fact of it. Like, how many of us would just prefer a female doctor over male because there's things they'll never understand. You can read about something, you can
Mhm.
have all the knowledge in the world, but until you physically experience it, you don't
Mhm.
get it. It's
No.
just different.
Yeah.
So, I love that she touched on that, and that she had someone there in her corner that understood it in its primal way. I love
Well,
that she did that.
because it just is a very real thing, you know, I mean,
Mhm,
still in modern medicine, the base that they go off of for all, like, data and science, like, in the world is the male body
yes.
that's, I think, 28 to 34 years old. And that's their, like, test, realm, which does a huge disservice to everyone. It
Mhm,
does a disservice to men who are older than that. It does a crazy disservice to women. We have different chromosomes.
yeah,
There's different things going on. And then, like, also speaking to, like, when you're pregnant and everything and you go to the doctor and they're like, "We don't know, we haven't studied it." And we've been having babies since forever, obviously, and a lot of them, the world's got a booming population, and you don't have an answer for me as to why I'm having this feeling
mhm,
because nobody ever studied it
yeah,
because it's all been done by men and they're not concerned with that. And that's so frustrating. And it's very cool and interesting that you picked up on and noted that it was the female doctor
yeah,
who was like, she's going into heat. That's what's happening. She doesn't have some like strange disease.
mhm,
It's very normal.
yes.
Um, yeah.
And I love that about Ali Hazelwood. She's so good at keeping the romance and the spice, but also always grounding it with science and reality, and that's a special talent that she has as an author. And
Which also,
go ahead, sorry.
sorry. Oh, I was gonna say, which also makes her so great in the romantasy world
Mhm,
because her worlds are built in such a real way.
yes,
Like they feel very real because the detail that goes into the building
yeah.
of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
regardless if it's vampires, werewolves, or humans. There's a groundedness to her characters that I love. And, okay, so there's also some action aside from the sex, chapter 34 aside.
Mhm.
She also
Yes.
does the whole cult comes back, which was part of your predictions of what this cult was gonna be. What did you think
Yes.
when you found out who the cult was? That it was her family and that Constantine was her father?
Okay. I think I even said in the middle, I was like, I think Constantine's her dad. So I saw that coming. I
Mhm.
didn't see Irene coming as her aunt though. So
Alright.
that was cool. I was like, oh, this is an extra twist. Like that she has family
Mhm.
still alive, which there's an inevitable pull to those kinds of, or sorry, biological family still
Right.
alive, which is
Yes.
an inevitable kind of pull to. And you guys, I'm just realizing that I thought I had everything plugged in and I didn't plug in my computer. Here we go. There's so many cords. Anyways, and so then that was really interesting as well. And again, it brings back to this cool relationship that she has with Misery, who
Mhm.
is her sister, but not her biological sister. And then it brings into the connection that she has with Keon, who is her mate. And it's interesting, the families, your biological family versus the
Mhm.
family you make for yourself, right? Like as you become an adult. And she has all this trauma of not having her biological family the whole time. And then the book ends in this beautiful way in that like um but look at the incredible family that she's made for herself,
Mhm.
And that's still going to have issues with it. And Misery talks about that as
Yeah.
well. I really love that we got to touch back in a little
Yes,
more
me
with
too.
Misery
In such beautiful
at
ways,
the
with
end.
Misery, with how she's dealing with her day-to-day life now and the complications and
Yeah.
struggles that still exist. But then
Yeah.
also with Lo and his how hard it is still for him to be away from his mate and how strong that bond
Yes.
is and how their relationship's doing. I really loved that. I thought it was such a great.
Mhm.
But yes, the couple page with her and Misery talking about how hard it is being a mom and having that world now and the worries, the guilt that comes from being a mom that even for her as a non-feeling vampire feels.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was really great because you get a little bit of that touch back in. It's, you said it once early on, like, oh, we're already living our happily ever after. We should just be like, yay. But no, still life still carries
Oh,
on and cycles
100%.
through and you have to still go through stuff. And so it's nice to touch back in and be like, ah, yes, it wasn't just a blissful ride into the sunset.
Yeah.
And where Misery's like, call me, talk
Yeah.
to me when you're going through something. Don't shut me out. Um, which was really great as well because Serena did shut everyone out
Yes.
and tried to go through this all alone. And it turned out that she needed to let everyone in
Yeah.
order to get through it.
I
And
like Felicity.
quite literally let Keon all the
Yes.
way in
I mean, and that's
in
one
order to get through
part
it.
to the mate bond I find so interesting. Like when they were talking about not wanting even 2 days away and how hard it is. And in the early days, yes, like every second you hate going to work. It's that whole, and I mean,
Yeah.
you're in heat that early time of the relationship. And then I remember we got to a point you were talking about because your husband was going away to film something and going to weeks. You're like, it's so hard
Yeah.
because I'm single parenting all the time and I'm back and alone for 2 weeks. And I'm looking at him and I was like, but he leaves.
It's true. That really clarified it for me. And then I was like, you're right.
You
And then I get
it's
to
a
miss
long
him
time.
and I get alone time and it's the best. Yeah.
Yes.
And solo parenting. I
It's
now
very
am
difficult.
like very
Yes.
aware of being like solo parenting versus single parenting.
Very
So I'm like,
different.
a single parent is on their own all the time. They are
Yes.
the person making all the decisions. That's so much more weight
Oh
on
my
someone's
gosh.
shoulders and harder than when your partner is just gone for a little
Yeah.
bit and comes back. It's still very hard to solo parent, but I like
It's
to make that
different. I
distinction so
agree.
that somebody who's a
100%.
single parent isn't like, you think you know, but you have no idea. And I'm like, you're right. I do have no idea.
Yeah.
But solo parenting is just another thing that reminds you like this is meant for a village. This is not
Yeah.
meant for one person
Yes.
to do. It's insane. But also I do think it is the secret to the success of my marriage that my
You
husband
get breaks.
leaves sometimes, or sometimes I leave and we get breaks
Exactly.
and we get to miss each other.
I remember
And
calling you for one because I was leaving for 2 weeks for something and I'd never left for that long.
yeah.
And to be fair, I was mostly just
Yeah.
concerned about my kids, leaving my kids for that long. So it
Yeah.
was more us talking about that. But it did help even Jake and I that next step of like truly missing each other. Like you miss it once a
Yeah.
couple days, but for like 2 weeks was a long time to not be with him.
It's
And
really
it's great.
nice. It's actually
Yeah.
nice. There's a fine line. Like there is a too long of a time to be
Oh,
apart.
yes.
And I think you need to be aware of that, especially in our industry. Is like it can be dangerous if
Yeah.
you're, because then your lives become totally separate and
Yeah.
then you're
And how
in
often.
treacherous waters.
Yes.
And
how
how
often.
often? Yeah.
Different things.
Yeah.
But
But the kids will survive. They're fine. I mean, they're made of like they're always
the
okay.
party.
Yeah. Yeah. And their whole like show about missing you and everything, it's just their way of like telling you they love you. Cause then they they totally get to manipulate the one parent versus the other for like all kinds of treats.
And it's true. I mean, when my mom would leave, she could leave for like 5
Yeah.
hours shopping. So that's I understand now. But as a kid, it was like, ugh, stuck with my dad for all. So like it was the worst. If she left for a weekend, he's gonna get the wrong peanut butter. He's gonna get the wrong groceries. We're not gonna have anything organized. Like everything's gonna fall apart.
Oh yeah.
I
Everything
mean, it's
falls
not
apart
that
when
in
mom
my
leaves.
house, but it's still. I remember that feeling and
Close.
how real it feels when you're the kid going through that. So
Yeah. My sister and I were always doing just like party time. We're gonna get to order pizza. We're probably gonna get to go to the movies. Mom pre-made all this food. We're not gonna eat any of it. Which I learned that lesson the hard way as well. Now when I'm leaving, I'm like, bye guys, good luck. If it's craft
Yeah.
dinner every day, all day, good on ya. Don't get scurvy. See you on the flip side. I just had to give up control.
You
I
do.
couldn't
And I mean,
handle it.
now we have FaceTime. It's all much easier than when we were kids as well
Yeah.
to stay in contact and chat.
Yeah.
But all that to say, their
Totally.
mate bond, it's very sweet. But I also do really remember that in the early times with Jake, too. Like
Yes.
literally even just separating for work. It was our own
Oh.
version of heat. It was
The honeymoon
amazing.
phase. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a total thing. Yes.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And then there's this kind of liberation on the other side of it as well. You're like, okay, I can function. I mean, she has
Yeah,
that moment.
She comes out of the fog and is like, oh, okay.
She's like a giant like anvil is like off her shoulder. She's like, can function again.
Yeah.
Literally, she's like, I can shift again, like into aware,
Yeah.
I'm not just like trapped in this. I mean, it was delicious though. And the
Oh my
nesting,
gosh.
oh,
It's such a real feeling. I remember that when I
it
just from
is.
when I was pregnant, like nesting and
Yeah.
nesting hard and trying everything comfy
Yeah.
and cozy. And there's probably a small version of it that we do when we're in that time of month when we are
Yeah.
also in our own version of heat. We probably do that a little bit more than we even realize of
I
that
bet if we
comfy.
paid attention,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
we're
She's
so
onto something.
disconnected. We're so disconnected from our animal selves, and I think to our detriment, really. I think the more that we get connected to that and into those rhythms and aware of it, the more that you don't you're like, oh, I'm not crazy. This is normal. This is natural. Why am I fighting the impulse? Why am I fighting my like animalistic nature,
Hmm.
trying to fit into a tech box? Um, that's just like making me fucking miserable.
Hmm.
So yeah, more walks in the woods and jumps in the ocean and like runs outside and
Yes.
crazy amazing sex when you're totally in the mood. Like just
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, when the kids are out of the
lean
house,
in.
preferably, but yes, or sleeping. I
They
mean,
sleep like rocks. They're sound asleep. Although I will say, um, when I mean, there's something to like morning sex or day sex. Like if it fits in your schedule,
yeah.
like if you're a parent,
Afternoon delights.
afternoon delights
Kids
are
are at school. Yeah.
that's the fave because you're also not exhausted, like too tired to really go
Exactly.
for it.
Yes. That's kind of the prime time actually when you're older. If you can have like both find a day that you can sneak away from work and play, like honestly, that afternoon time when they're in school and
Yeah,
you both have energy, it's like the best. Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
It's so refreshing.
It is.
And then later on that night, you sleep really, really good. Um, so there you go. That's the advice from the book Mate when we got all the way through.
Yeah.
Um, it's all about the family you choose. If your real family's a
Yes.
cult and crazy, don't worry. Look around. Take us. Maybe there's
Yeah.
um, lean into your animalistic nature and find time for that afternoon delight. Just my takeaways
Yes.
from Mate.
And listen to Wood. It's a good song. And it'll get you.
It's a great song. Oh, speaking of songs, and I brought up before how much I love a playlist. I found a playlist for Mate that someone made.
Oh,
Somebody made, yes, it's reading. The playlist called, it's not called like Mate, like it's Reading Mate, I think is what it's called. Yeah.
amazing.
Reading Mate by Ali Hazelwood, Serena X. Cohen, someone, Sarah as made it. I don't know. Anyways, um, listen to it. It's so
Okay.
good. I was listening to it this morning, like before we were gonna get on and talk about it, and I was like, oh yeah, all these songs are like they totally
Oh,
are
yay.
the kind of feel of the book.
Oh, that's
It's
amazing.
really
Okay.
fun.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
It's become my favorite thing in this genre. There's so many fans doing cool stuff.
Oh, there's so
I
much. I
love it.
love it. And also a lot of the authors will do playlists with their books as well. Like in their books
Yeah.
and they'll say this is the playlist. And then people make it and then you can find it. Yeah. It's really great.
It's the it's it's so much fun. It's just like this all around experience, I mean, the other night I was like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna watch a show. Brad was out. I'm gonna read. I was like, I'm gonna have a bath. I'm gonna read the book. I'm gonna have the playlist on. Like, I'm gonna have a fully immersive,
Oh my God. I love it so
entertaining
much.
evening reading,
Was it amazing?
just for enjoyment. It was amazing. It was so much fun. And I'm like, I love this. It's more relaxing and entertaining than even just like watching a show, which
Oh my God. I
is
will
the
read
best.
anytime. That's become my thing. Like I escape
Yeah.
in my books. And that is
Yeah.
also, so our next read along, like we do with Mate, is going to
Yes.
be Lynn Painter's Fake Skating. Oh my gosh. So
Mm.
our episode of Better Than Movies will already be out by the time we're doing this, by the time you're
Yeah.
watching this, or listening to this. And that we read as a precursor because she's my favorite. It's one of my all-time favorite books. And this is her latest teen book that comes the closest to that, in my opinion, and it just came out. So we're gonna read along with Fake
Nice.
Skating. That'll be our
Yeah.
next one. So get on it, read it. I loved it.
Right?
I'm gonna read
I'm
it
so
again.
excited. Court's going to
Um,
read it again. I have not read it yet. So I, again, will be truly reading along with you when we get to the 50% point. I won't have ideas. I won't have an idea what happens, but I will have so many theories.
Yes.
And we'll see if I was 100% right this time.
You
We'll see if I'm
you were
100% right
on it.
again.
And look, full disclosure, I'll probably never be reading along. I read things right away. I can't help it. It's a problem. I, I'm not a stop it halfway. I stay up till four with mate. It's a problem, but that's okay. That's why you get the
We'll
balance
get
of
you.
both. You get the balance
Yeah.
of both. That's
We'll we'll find one that gets you. We'll find one that slows you down.
Oh, I want to say too, because we did talk about it, the song Would. I just want to give a quick hot take for me on that song because there were so many people pro or con that song. And I just want to say, I think it's amazing. Good, good for Taylor. Listen, if every relationship you've had has been super public and everyone's known about them, what bigger flex is there than to be like,
Yeah.
and guess what? My forever man also has a huge cock. Mic drop. I think
Love.
it's amazing. I love it. We don't get enough bragging rights later. Unfortunately for us as women, our exes, our 20s, and all that hot college life going, they got the perky boobs. They got the 20-year-old version of this.
Yes.
And their cocks stay the same. So wherever they are now, they still have that. So we need the flexes we get. And the flex for her, look, you and I, we love ours. We got super hot husbands. That's the flex for us. Flexes.
Absolutely.
We did good. She got a hot athletic guy and she gets to take it to the next level because she's a songwriter and flex. Yes. Good. Sing it out there. Let them all know you sound to me better than everyone else. And that is amazing. I just love it so much. And I think it's amazing. I'm very pro Songwood, and I think it's wonderful.
Oh, same. I mean, obviously, we're doing this podcast. I'm like, you have a woman out there being like, owning it? Yes.
Yes.
More of that, please.
Yes.
And good for Taylor.
Good for Taylor. Yep. We're all
happy for you, babe.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, that is it for today's episode. You guys, honestly, I mean, you read it too, right? How can you not?
And if you didn't, I hope you learned a few things today or remembered a few things.
It's going to go there with mate. And thank you, Ali Hazelwood, for that. All right. This was awesome. I loved this book. It was so much fun. It was really fun to read along as well. I sometimes I just need to stop halfway and check in with others and be like, what do you think is happening here? This is too exciting. So super fun. We're going to do a read along every month. Like Court said, Fake Skating is the next one. And otherwise, thanks so much for joining us. And we're signing off now, yeah?
Yes, thanks. Bye.
Bye.